So this video tutorial is going to walk through how to insert equations as well as how to format them properly for CHE 351 and 454 reports. So the first thing to do is to remember that they have to be on separate lines. So for instance, if we have an equation like something like this, go to a new line, and we want to start by inserting the equation. In order to do this, we go Insert, and on this side there is the equation button. A different way to do this, in case you can't find this or your screen's a bit smaller, you can also add it up here. To do this, just click on the Customize Quick Access Toolbar button, go to More Commands, in this menu then, change from Popular Commands to All Commands, and scroll down until you find Insert New Equation. It's all in alphabetic order. Right here, highlight it and click Add. Hit OK, and you will see up in the top corner now Insert New Equation is up there. You can see I've gone through and already added some of my own that I use quite often. So you can go through that menu and see what else you might want to add up there. So you can now click either here or here to start an equation. So when you're putting your equation in now, just start typing. Here you have all the different things that you can do. So you can see it just takes a bit of playing around with to see where everything is. And you put your equation in. So the easiest way to do this is to learn how to copy and paste. So Control C and Control V, and then you can edit things a lot more quickly. So once you have your equation in, you click outside and it goes back to the actual document view. To edit again, you just go back inside and make sure you're on Equation Design Tools. Make sure you play around a little bit with things up here to find out how to do anything you want to do with equations, and also the symbols over here and expanded view when you do this. So there's basic math, and there's a whole bunch of other ones, Greek letters and whatnot that you might need. So once you have your equation in, now it becomes a matter of how to format it in the document. So you can see by default it does center it nicely. However, it doesn't allow us to put our equation number in as we'd want to. So as soon as we start typing, you'll notice that it goes back to left justified. So what we want to do is put in a couple of tabs. So we want to have the ruler on. If the ruler is not visible under View, you will see the ruler button. So you can click that on or off, and you see up here the ruler shows up or it disappears. We want the ruler on because that's the easiest way to add our tabs. If you set up your document properly with 1-inch margins all the way around, and let's just check on that so that you have your margin set right, then when we go to do this, it's a lot easier. So the first one we want to set is right in the middle, which should be 3.25 inches, and the second one right on the end at 6.5 inches. What we can do now is just double click on this one and say this will be center, hit set, OK. Now when we go to the side of the equation and hit tab, you will see that it centers it. If you have problems when you hit tab and it doesn't do anything as I showed there, just hit the space bar and then you'll be able to tab it to the middle. The first tab then goes to there, and then the second, when we go to our equation, we can hit tab again and it will push the equation. However, right now it's left justified. If we double click here and click on our 6.5 one, we want this to be right justified to the right side of the page. We can hit OK. Now you can see that it's set up properly. What you can do now, in order to save this so you don't have to go through this procedure every time you add a new equation, under Styles, you can click the Expand button here, and down here under New Styles, call this Equation. Make sure you have Times New Roman, 12-point, black font, 1.5 spacing justified, that's all okay, and hit OK. You'll see that this adds a new style called Equation to go along with your existing ones. So you can see how things change if you go to other ones. But we want it like this. So now when we hit Enter, we go to our next line. Our next line we want back at normal, and then you can continue typing. So you might have something like where M is mass flow rate. And then anytime if we hit Enter and we want to put a new equation in, we can hit our Equation button, insert equation, and then start putting our next equation. So just as an example. And then when we go to put our equation in, we'll still have to go back here and tab it over. And now you can see our equations are in and they're formatted properly. So even when we get to equation 10, it's still formatted to the right. And if we hit Enter again, it just matter of going back to normal format so we can keep typing. And that concludes this tutorial.